The debut album from the Canadian-American supergroup consisting of singer-songwriter veterans Neko Case, Katie Lang and Laura Veirs sees three artists from varying ends of the musical spectrum pulling together to create quite a solid project that showcases all three ladies very well without one person in particular overshadowing the other two in the process. Pulling genres from their own respective backgrounds, this album uses elements of pop, alternative country and indie music that culminate in a sturdy collaborative project with plenty of appeal. Although not having a consistent theme throughout the album, the songs have a strong sense of earnestness, nostalgia and heartwarming presence that for the most part makes almost all of them worth the listen. Away from the tracks concerning love and relationships, you have the song Down I-5, which references the highway that connects all three women, where they live, and brief mentions of driving down said highway in order to meet up and collaborate for this self-titled project. Best Kept Secret, which is a dedication track written by Laura to a guitarist friend of hers she's known for a long time. The album's final track, Georgia Stars, which reads as a spirit still wandering this earth and roaming the place where she grew up. And Song for Judee, which is another tribute track, this time about a singer-songwriter called Judith Lynn Sill who died at a young age as a result of a drugs overdose. Regarding the theme of love and relationships, this album tends to veer into the more melancholic territory, with the majority of songs seeing our leads mired in despondency. Blue Fires reads as our lead feeling a sense of sadness due to her lover seemingly not reciprocating the same loving feelings she has for him. Behind the Armory shows our lead racked with uncertainty due to wanting this man to love her, yet feels that this won't transpire but remains determined to keep up a brave persona to hide this. Why Do We Fight reads as two people who do love one another, but yet our lead asks why they are constantly fighting with each other. 1000 Miles is your atypical track about a couple who, despite being in each other's presence, are separated from each other on an emotional and romantic plane. And Delirium sees our lead fantasizing about being with a man she wants for herself but is uncertain whether this person in question is willing to risk potential heartache should it all go to cock. Despite underlying themes of melancholy, there are moments where the album is a little more cheerful. Greens of June reads as our lead's revitalization from being pulled away from despondency due to her significant other's affection. I Want to Be Here has our lead recognizing that all around her shit may be happening but the closeness of her fella is enough to bring her joy. Atomic Number sees all three ladies take it in turn to deliver a line one after the other on a track about finding the one that you're meant to be with. And Honey and Smoke sees our protagonist watching her fella dance with multiple other women, yet isn't perturbed by this since she's confident enough in her man's loyalty and that no other woman can love him like she can. As mentioned, this album pulls from many genres, with country being the primary genre. For the most part, the acoustic guitar is the primary instrument, but there are a few inclusions that do set the songs apart from each other. The strings on Atomic Number and Supermoon have a particular country flavour to them, with the soft guitars in the background. A similar guitar style is performed on Song for Judee, with hints of piano included. Delirium includes a steel and slide guitar with added church bells thrown in the mix. The use of woodwind instruments are just audible enough to make out on Honey and Smoke, but are more noticeable on the song 1000 Miles. The bass guitar on Down I-5 takes over from the acoustic guitar, providing a nice little bounce and working well with the rattling drum piece, and the soft electric guitar and slide on Girlfriend gives a nice country underbelly. There aren't many complaints to be had with this project instrumentally. It's all relatively solid and there's nothing overtly wrong with the album. Lyrically, I think some of the tracks could have done with being a little more flushed out, as some tracks can feel a little underwritten. I think the album could have done without the track Blue Fires, as for me it doesn't really add anything of any real value to the album and it's the most underwritten track to be found. Veirs has gone on record to say that the track Supermoon is about venture capitalism, and having read the lyrics, for me that's a bit of a stretch. I Want to Be Here could have been expanded a little more on its topic, which is something this album does falter on a level, but for a collaborative effort this album is pretty good. Solid instrumentation, charming lyrics and vocal performances that are pretty much on point, especially when the ladies harmonise, which should have happened a lot more often on this album. Overall, I score this album an 80 out of 100.